Okay, so what I'm interested in is how you came to me. Where did your interest in alchemy come from?
Yeah, I had made a record. I mean, I was asked to play on a record, and it was called Praxis Transmutation, and it was with Bill Laswell produced it, and it was his idea. And now that I look back on it, I think he was doing an alchemical experiment, like he brought Bootsy and Brain and me and Bernie Worrell and Af in. We made a record, and I hadn't ever really heard of that. So once the album was out and he called it Praxis Transmutation, and I was like, well, what is that? So that's when I first heard of it. And then I at that time, I would all I could think of was like Frankenstein's Laboratory from the movie, and that was a long time ago. And then over time, I started seeing the images,
And what happened to you when you saw the actual alchemical images? So you made this record Transmutation, and then you started to go to bookstores, you said, and in those bookstores you looked at alchemical images and something began to happen to you. What happened to you when you looked at those images?
Yeah, I think it kind of opened my mind up in a way that I didn't understand, but I liked the feeling of it a lot. And
what were the feelings like?
Yeah, it reminded me of when I would play as a child, like with toys and just not having any idea about what I just pick up toys and make worlds up, and like most kids would do, and just that freedom of it. It reminded me of that feeling
of making whole worlds.
That's true.
Of playing.
Yeah, it just felt like boundless, like just, I couldn't even try, I didn't really want to try to even understand them as much as I wanted to just, I liked the feeling I got.
Right.
And it did feel that way to me, like a lot of those images.
And did it affect your music?
Yeah, I mean, I definitely would look at the pictures, and then whether it was playing or recording, I noticed that when I did look at them, I would get into a different kind of state,
So can you describe that state that you got into when you looked at these images of alchemy?
Yeah, it's like playing as a kid. It just had that feeling of just wonder. And I think
did your music sound different?
Definitely, I think I came up with things that I don't remember having any awareness of where that came from. Like I didn't think about it or practice certain things. It would just kind of come up. And then I would be like, whoa, that's pretty weird,
And so as you were doing that, over time, you became interested in learning more about alchemy. Is that how you came to me?
Yeah, I wanted to get into the mind frame. Once I got more into it, I started seeing all the pictures of the guys in the laboratories, and I was like, I wonder what it would be like to play guitar with that, with what they were thinking of or what they were experiencing. Like, I want to approach the guitar with the way they approached trying to work with the furnaces and the vessels and everything that you've taught me. I just loved the imagery.
And that really interested me because you are really good at your music. You're a virtuoso. So I was very interested what would happen if a virtuoso in music would start to play with these images of alchemy, and if we could create a transmutation process by way of music. That what interested me, and that's when we started working together. Usually people come to me because I work with dreams, I work with the deep imagination, and I work with alchemy. But usually people come to me for a creative process, or they come because they have psychological problems, or they want to work on their dreams. But people don't usually come to me because of my expertise in alchemy. People don't do that, and so I was fascinated that that's why he came to me. So shall we see if we can do one of these alchemical processes in music? We can just try it and see what comes out of it.